Hello and welcome to another episode of Wild of Africa. I'm Eric Njoka. This week we focus on the music and entertainment industry in the continent, which is now getting some attention and some global acclaim. Is it about time Afrobeats became a global chart topper? And what does the future hold for African artists? We'll talk about that shortly. Thank you very much for joining us. We start from West Africa, where Senegal is facing a crisis constitutionally. Senegal's parliament voted to delay the West African nation's presidential election until December 15th in a chaotic voting process that took place after opposition lawmakers were forcefully removed from the chambers as they debated President Macky Sall's early decision to delay the crucial election. Security forces stormed the legislative building and forcefully removed several opposition lawmakers who were trying to block the voting process on the unprecedented delay of the presidential election initially scheduled for February 25th. The adopted bill extends Sall's tenure, which was due to end on April 2nd, until a new election. Here's a report.
I have signed decree of February 3rd, 2024, repealing decree of November 29, 2023, convening the electoral body. For my part, my solemn undertaking not to run in the presidential election remains unchanged.
Convocation du corps électoral.
It was this televised address to the nation that threw Senegal into disarray after President Macky Sall cancelled the relevant law due to electoral issues he warned would fuel disputes. With little more than 3 weeks to go before the vote, the unprecedented step of delaying the poll to an unspecified date pitches Senegal into the uncharted constitutional waters that some opposition and civil society groups said amounted to an institutional coup. One opposition coalition has already vowed to challenge the move in the courts, raising the prospect of a protracted legal battle that could further muddy the democratic outlook.
Ce pays qui était le chantre de la démocratie.
A country that was a champion of democracy, a country that had become a benchmark in Africa and the world, a country respected by all and everywhere. What has happened to bring us to this point? We are all sad. We are unhappy.
Nous sommes tous tristes, nous sommes malheureux.
Sall's decision follows the Constitutional Council's January decision to exclude some prominent contenders from the electoral list, which has fanned discontent about the election process. Among the excluded candidates from the Senegal's Constitutional Council were opposition leaders Ousmane Sonko and Karim Wade, the son of former President Abdoulaye Wade. 49-year-old Sonko has been battling various court cases since 2021, and the authorities deny his accusations they are politically motivated, although public backlash to his treatment has fueled unrest. Karim Wade saw his hopes of running in the last presidential race scuppered by a corruption conviction. He has since received a presidential pardon but remains ineligible to run due to being a dual citizen when he submitted his candidacy. The capital Dhaka appeared calm after Sall's announcement, with no immediate sign of people taking to the streets in protest. Soon, protesters mainly drawn from the opposition took to the streets and caused a ruckus. Protesters and police clashed in the Senegalese capital Dhaka. Senegal's former Prime Minister Aminata Touré, now a leading opposition figure, was arrested.
We are only defending ourselves. He meddles with the constitution, he meddles with the newspapers, he meddles with the population. He does everything he can to put us in a difficult position. I say it and I repeat it once again. We are not fighting for a simple cause, we are fighting for freedom.
What happens next is unclear. Senegal has never before delayed a presidential vote. Its four largely peaceful transitions of power via the ballot box since independence from France in 1960 have built up its reputation for stability. According to the constitution, Sall's mandate ends on April 2nd, after which the President of Parliament should be in charge if the election has still not been held. Opposition candidate Khalifa Sall, no relation to Macky Sall, said he would refuse to recognize Sall as president after April 2nd and promised to mount a legal challenge against what he also called an institutional coup.
Senegal gépp moo war jóg.
The whole of Senegal must rise up. All democratic political forces, all forces of civil society should unite to ensure that this project does not succeed.
Pour que lii bañ antu.
Senegalese voters were meant to choose a successor to President Sall. For the first time in Senegal's history, the incumbent was not on the ballot. His hand-picked successor, Prime Minister Amadou Ba, was among 20 candidates cleared to run. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.